on Pearl Harbor are looking forward to a relaxing Sunday in a beautiful island paradise. But that is not to be. At 0753, Lieutenant Paseo Pichita keeps his mic and issues those down famous words. Tora, Tora, Tora. Look to your left. Imagine yourself at Pearl Harbor. See the first wave of attackers. It's December 7th, 1941. By this time, the flames on the West Virginia reach as high as the foresail. It is devastating. Today has numerous stories of heroism. The Nevada on the south end of Fort Island is able to open fire at 0802 only moments after the attack, even though her captain and senior officers are not on board. Lieutenant Commander J.F. Thomas ignores the move and gets the ship underway, even with a huge hole in her port bow. He is able to beach the ship at Hospital Point as the knots to block the channel. Also on the Nevada, 21-year-old Joseph Todd Jr., officer of the deck, stands in an aircraft battery and continues to direct fire at the enemy aircraft even after a bullet passes through his thigh. He refuses to leave the battle. There are also stories of irony and humor. The commander of Naval Forces of Hawaii, Admiral Husband Kimmel, is standing in front of a window observing the destruction when a bullet breaks through the window and grazes his chest. Although he is unhurt, the Admiral states, "It would have been merciful if it had killed me." Going first class, Leonard Webb rushes to get his wife and child to a car. This is his story. "When we were almost in the car, my wife says, 'The baby doesn't have any diapers. Get some.' This is Armageddon, the end of the world, and my wife has me chasing diapers?" As the extent of the devastation reaches Washington, the country is stunned. Later that day, President Franklin Roosevelt addresses a shocked nation.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused damage to American and military forces. That is indicating that very many American lives have been lost. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph. So help us God.
At 10 o'clock, the last of the strike force makes its way back to the waiting carrier. The Japanese ships begin their long journey back to Japan. The attack lasted only 120 minutes, but American bases lay in ruins, smoke billowing up from the devastation. 8 battleships, 3 cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 4 auxiliary ships. 18 ships in all lay foundering in the oil-covered waters of Pearl Harbor. More than 350 aircraft stand broken or completely destroyed. In reality, America's Pacific Fleet has simply ceased to exist. But most horrific, 3,500 Americans lay dead or wounded in what remains of Pearl Harbor and Hickam Air Force Base. The Japanese lost 29 planes and less than 200 men. The Army and Navy spend the rest of the day attending to the wounded and putting out fires. The Arizona alone burns for 3 days. Yes, President Roosevelt issued a call to arms, and America listened. No one expected the surprise attack that fateful day. America was not ready for war, but America responded. America pulled together, and America was victorious. America pulled together as young men joined the armed forces to defend this nation, while women began working in factories, working long, hard hours to energize industry. Families rationed food and gasoline and many other items, sacrificing their own needs for the good of a nation. Liberty Gardens sprung up around the country so food could be sent to troops abroad. An entire nation refused to give in. An entire nation refused to quit, refused to allow democracy to be destroyed. This nation, your nation, stood strong, stood proud, and in the face of adversity, against all odds, this nation prevailed. This was not the first time the United States has been challenged, threatened, or tested, and it will not be the last. Right now, as we enjoy this wonderful day here in Monroe, our sons, daughters, husbands, our wives, uncles, cousins, friends, our countrymen are defending America in far-off lands, sacrificing so you and I might enjoy the lasting tradition of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We must never forget those who have sacrificed to make sure America stays strong. Please remember those young, brave men and women. I would ask, when you see someone in uniform, go up to them, look them in the eye, shake their hand, and say, "We are proud of you, and we are proud of what you do, and thank you." I hope today we have stirred something in your heart, something in your mind, and make you feel proud of who we are and proud to be an American. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Tora, Tora, Tora! But ladies and gentlemen, this is not just a story about this nation or those who have served. It's about each and one of you listening to me today. You can make a difference. You can be strong just as this nation is, and you can make it better just as this nation has. Listen to me, Monroe. We are part of the greatest nation in the world. Put your hands together and prove to me you believe this. I want you to take this moment to savor what we have and to pledge to become involved in your community, your government, your surroundings. We must not become spectators to our own destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, thank our pilots, Ron Wright, Doug Durr,